Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's class and meditation. Tonight we'll be talking about the thought pattern dissolve method and why it's so important and so useful for us in our lives and especially in our meditation practice and how it ties directly into the work we're doing of taking out those blockages by the roots. What thought pattern dissolve allows us to do is put us in a mindset where we can access the underlying emotions that are behind our most common entrenched thought patterns. And when we access it in that way and begin to feel those emotions and feel around them, that allows our Shaktipat style meditation and system to really get its arms around them. It gives it permission to get in there, dig in there, and start lifting out those sanskaras and those blockages. So it's a very, very useful method. Every time I do it, I really feel like I'm digging deeper and deeper, and it always accesses the things that we're working on and the most current blockages that are relevant to our lives because it's going deeper into exactly what we're thinking about at this time. So to get started, I want you to start thinking about the blockages that you might have and start thinking about the thought patterns that you might have right now. What have you been thinking about earlier today? What kinds of what's been top of mind? What kinds of things have you been thinking about? Let's go back this morning. This morning, what kinds of things have you been thinking about this afternoon, depending on, where you are in the world in the US, it's still in the morning here in Germany. It's the evening. So what have been the topics on your mind? What have you been like festering about or worrying about? And I want you to jot that down on a piece of paper because as we get started with the thought pattern dissolve method, the first thing we do is take stock and try to list down as many of these thought patterns, these topics as we can, because then we'll be able to revisit them. We'll know. It just gives us it's a really nice feeling to know, these are my hot topics. These are my hot button topics. This is what my brain is up to. It puts some boundaries, a little bit of finality around what the brain is doing. It's this big or it's that big, but we begin to we begin to really have some sense of what we're dealing with. And and that sense gives us a lot more confidence as we go into this and helps us lay the groundwork. So let's think. Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday, were you thinking about any different topics last week, last month? What are the major topics that you've been thinking about? And I'm going to let you take just a moment here while I connect with some of the folks on the stream. I'm going to let you take a moment and go back and think and write down the primary topics. It doesn't have to be long. Word, 2 words, at most short sentence. What are the big topics that your mind, not you, but your mind has been thinking about in the last week, in the last month, in the last 2 months? And try to be as comprehensive as you can. And I'll rejoin you here in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, put on a little bit of background music while we get started. Okay, good. So I hope you all found some good topics, and maybe you found some topics that you hadn't thought of before. Some, some new things. And that's good. It expands our awareness, expands our knowledge of everything that we're dealing with here. And in the next part of our program, it's going to be a meditation because we really combine our meditative work with our cognitive work at the same time and with our energy work. So we're bringing those three streams of effort and concentration together. And in our meditative work, we draw upon the higher energies from different realms and different dimensions, and that they may be kind of looking in on us from different dimensions. They're very eager to help us out, and they can engage us in just the right way that we need for this process. Because they can perfectly with those parts of our bodies, our energy bodies, our subtle bodies that are holding all those stored emotions. They're really good at that. They're much better than we are at accessing those parts of ourselves. They know how to do that. They can see every part of it and all the details around how all those sanskaras and blockages, how they were formed, how they were held, the different structure, the linkages within the blockages, all that complexity that might be difficult for us to wrap our heads around and see and map out every little piece. They understand that very well. So as we go ahead and as we start our meditation, I want you to be very open, invite these energies in. And one of these energies happens to be what I'm a part of, and it happens to have the form of a big female orange dragon, as funny as that may sound, or may appear to you, may or may not appear to you in this meditation. So, open yourselves up. You just might meet a large orange female dragon in this meditation, or you may meet other energies and forces that are coming in to assist us. There's a whole host of extremely helpful, loving beings, loving energies that would love to come through for you right now in this moment, would just love to come through and help. And they're just waiting for your being open to them. That's all it takes. If you're not kind of open, then they can't do that much. They respect your privacy. I have to leave you alone. But if you're open, like I am, and I hope you are in this moment, then we can go ahead together and we can open the floodgates. And as I'm saying these words, I'm feeling my hands start to eat up with energy and current that wants to come through from all these sources and stream out to you. And there's no, despite the geographical distance, there's no distance in terms of how this energy and intelligence can flow. No separation whatsoever. So we are going to begin this meditation now. And I'd like to begin it with a simple hand position and a sound. And you can go ahead and use these in your own time, anytime you want, and call in, my higher self, our orange dragon. You can call that in any time you want. She's always available, any day of the week, any hour. Could be at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. She's up, she's available, and she wants to help. She likes nothing better than to help. It gives her more to do, more work that she can do to help out. That's what she's there for. That's what I'm here for on this planet, just to let you guys know about her, and that she's available. She wants you guys to know, and that's why I'm here, and that's why we're doing this broadcast. So you can think about her. You can think of the name Yona, Yona, and you can connect with her in that way. It really doesn't take this mudra and this sound, but we're doing it anyway in case you want something a little more um, grounded and slightly more physical. So we have a physical gesture and we have a sound, and you can use those if it helps you to connect, and you can use it anytime at all. So the mudra that we're going to use, and this is the mudra that I personally like to meditate in when I meditate on my own, which I try to do every day, and which I hope that we all do as a habit, and hopefully we can all do it together. This mudra is called the Cosmic Mudra. Mudra I like to use. I've heard Buddha also used it under the tree he sat in for so long. We put the fingers of the left hand over the fingers of the right hand, creating a chi lock, or an energy flow, energy bridge with that contact. And then we circulate that energy further, completing that circuit. The thumbs are very lightly touching, but lightly touching. And then sound, or the mantra that we're going to use, is going to sound like this. Clean. And it may be a little longer than that when we do it, but it's basically like that. It sounds like clean, like you're cleaning your house or cleaning the floor, cleaning dishes in the sink, but there's just an M. An M is in Mary at the end instead of an N as in Nancy. That's usually there in that word. So we are going to go ahead and chant along over here. And I hope you guys enjoy. If you're on the replay, it's gonna be great for you as well, because this will work anytime in the replay, after the replay, anytime you want. It'll be just as good then as it is now. So let's go ahead together. And you can close your eyes. It is important that you keep your eyes closed. And as we get more into this thought pattern dissolve method, you're going to be able to employ the thought pattern dissolve method at the same time as we're doing this meditation, and hit these blockages with a double whammy over here as we pair our intellect, which we're using the intellect, ironically, to get us out of our intellect, out of our mind. We're doing it in an intellectual way because there's all this thinking going around anyway. So why not use that thinking to our advantage? And that's how we're going to do this as we learn more of the thought pattern dissolve method. And for now, since we've done our bucketing, you can think about, as you're having thoughts, you can think about which buckets they fit into as we're doing this. And we'll learn much more about this method and all the nuances and techniques as we go later on. There's several steps, 4 steps. And we're at the pre setup now. So for now, you can do that, or you can try to maintain some distance from your thoughts, and that'll be very helpful in this meditation. Let's get started. I can feel my hands heating up, more yonas rearing to go. So please close your eyes. Make this mudra we talked about, rest it lightly in your lap. After we finish chanting the mantra 3 times, you can maintain a palms up posture, and you can be straight up in your chair, just keep you more alert and awake and attentive. And so chant along with me. Clean. 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 All right, excellent. So remain with your eyes closed for about 30 minutes. There's no need to open them, check what's happening or anything. Just rest, relax, be free of the thoughts. Enjoy this pause, enjoy this break, enjoy this time to yourself, this time working on yourself. We're going to use this time to do some good work over here because that's really what we're after. We're after working on ourselves, improving our condition, digging up some of these old roots. That's what we are interested in doing. So keep your eyes closed. You can keep your palms up if that's comfortable for you. You feel yourself falling asleep, you can kind of straighten up in your chair. Just move your back a little bit off the chair and maintain that posture if it helps you stay awake. And enjoy any flow, any energy that you may feel coming in. That's Yona's blessing to you. It's a blessing of yourself, your spirit, and all the beautiful energies and entities that are here all the time supporting us and are just waiting to come in. And that's what this is. This is an opportunity to let those energies in, those energies of the light. And there's nothing of darkness in this meeting. There's nothing to be afraid of. We have such large and powerful energies with us now that anything that is not of the highest benefit for you is just going to be swept away. It's not going to have any chance to fester or have any space to operate in this environment. So there's no need to worry or fear, and there's every reason to celebrate and to relax and to be open and just to enjoy the energies and everything that's around us now. Beautiful time to be alive, go out to meet people, enjoy your life, and enjoy this meditation. Make meditation a part of your life, and it'll enrich all the rest of your life. Because what we're doing, it's about giving the ability to concentrate, to contemplate, to think better, to be more aware, to experience more. So in this meditation, as we work on these blockages, we are coming to a stillness within ourselves as well. And that stillness is where we find who we really are. We get in touch with that awareness, and ultimately we're able to maintain that awareness more and more, and hopefully we get in touch with our higher selves and the rest of the light. So just relax, ease into it. Let it come, let things flow, let things be natural. Whatever you experience or don't experience is perfectly fine. There's no need to try or strive for anything or any particular experience at all. That's not necessary. And if it helps you to concentrate, you can take a few deep breaths and slowly breathe in, breathe out, let all the air out. The breath is one of the anchors that we use when our mind is going. We need to concentrate a little bit more. One of the other things that we do is body scanning. Keeping our attention moving. If it's tending to go into thoughts, we can keep our attention moving in the body so we're not in the thoughts. And that's another method that we employ to keep our attention. But right now, with these energies and with all the support that's coming in, we can leverage that as an attentional tool, and we can feel into all those all those sensations now. And that's a way that we get into space of attention and awareness. So how are you guys feeling now? So definitely want to hear from all of you. Um, and you can message me directly on Facebook right now. You can send me on Messenger at Jonah Bernstein. I'll look, and I would love to answer any questions, or I can tune into you more specifically, and I can feel exactly what you may be feeling in this moment in terms of which blockages are worked on and how they feel to me, how I feel those blockages in your body as we're working on them. So you can go right into your messenger right now and let me know on Facebook. Okay, I think I see one coming through. So one person that their name starts with an R. I'm not going to say their full name, but they have a message. I very much appreciate their message, and I'm going to take this time now for the next few minutes. I'm going to tune in specifically to them, and anything I feel specifically for them, I will share. Pulling up their picture and taking a look so I can focus and tune in, but just their name and their message will allow me to start tuning in. And just close your eyes and stay with me in this process and keep the connection so I can keep tuning into you. And I'm primarily feeling, I'm feeling what it is, the blockages we're working on now and what they feel like. And every person, they feel different, and sometimes it's hard to describe. I'm feeling this moment's a little bit different in the beginning, but I'm mainly feeling our work in the middle of the rib cage area. And stay with me. Let me tune in. And I'm really just feeling sensations. It might be similar sensations to what you're feeling. Just giving me a sense of what's going on, and letting me um, specifically have some intentions as well. And what I was feeling in the beginning, and I'm starting to feel a little bit again now as you kind of let me back in more, and I appreciate it, is it's some heaviness in the heart. And we've all had past heartbreaks and hurts, and that can linger, and it's okay. And feel into it with me. That's good. So we're right in the center of the chest, in the upper chest. This is where so many of our pains are stored, not just you, but for me and for so many of us. It's like a tension almost, if you had I don't know, something plastic and it was just getting stretched and didn't want to be stretched, and it's a bit tight. We're going to stay with this a little bit longer so we can make some progress in working through it. And there's obviously a lot in the heart, right? There's many things that have gotten lodged there, and it obviously takes time to work through them. But in one session, even in a session like this, um, we can make meaningful progress on the specific blockage that we're working on at that time. And that's what we're doing. We're making discrete, defined units of progress, completing processes, even completely moving blockages, potentially in one session, potentially in several sessions, but we're going from blockage to blockage and finishing, working our way out of those blockages and moving on to other things, other blockages, and even other types of processes that are more complicated, that we may not even be aware of or be able to fully describe. And and you can breathe in. So that person whose name starts with an R, I appreciate you being with me. You can breathe in and imagine your breath is going into that upper chest area. That's now even moving up towards the throat. Feel as if you're taking some breath with me into that area. And that helps further place your attention on that area. And the more attention we can give, the more it enables and accelerates this blockage removal process, this Shaktipat process, go by other names as well, but this process of leveraging our own intentions and energies and combining it with the much greater intelligences that are all around us all the time. And it's a combination of our intention, our attention, our energy of everyone on this call, and the intelligence and the driving force of those beautiful beings all around us that have just been dying to help out. They've been, waiting around all day, peering in, just waiting for that opportunity to come in and help out and do something, right? They see us walking around all these blockages, these past heartaches, and they like nothing better than be able to help out and let us see us be happier. And we have to let them in, and that's what we're doing now. We're taking a little bit of time out of our day to let all these well-meaning folks, these entities who are watching the show over here, the show that is us in our lives, right behind the scenes, right behind the curtain. They're very, very smart. They've gathered all these capabilities over countless lifetimes in this world and other worlds. And they would just love to use all of those abilities that they've worked so hard to accumulate to help us out. And all we're doing right now is giving them a little opportunity, a little window, a little bit of permission to come in and help us out with all the tools that they already have right there. And it's nothing for them to do that. It's no sweat off of their back. And they got more than enough energy to help every single person on this call and every single person that watches the replay. Got all the energy, all the love, and all the time in the world. Help out every single person watching this now or on the replay individually. And they can leverage all the energy that all of us are contributing into this call. They can leverage all of that to further ground and accelerate their process if they want to, or they can use all the knowledge and intelligence that they have already. So I want to thank you, that person whose name starts with an R, for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. I always love the opportunity to help and work with people, and I rely on people like you to come in and say hi and connect. So definitely appreciate that. again, I definitely respond in the, in the chats, but I just wasn't able to pull up that chat, so that's why I ask people to message me directly so I can see it in that way. What we're getting to right now, and we have been doing it for, for some time, but what's ramping up right now, and you just may feel it, is the Andromedan healing frequency. The Andromedan healing frequency is amplifying now. At this moment, I can feel it streaming in from Andromeda, from our Andromedan dragon Yona, who's pushing this energy through me out to all of you, and it's heating up through my fingertips. I can feel it shooting out, wanting to go out to anyone who may be listening to this either now or on the replay, but especially right now, to anyone who needs this energy, anyone who feels that they can use this energy from Andromeda and from the Andromedan dragons, from Yona, anyone who can use this energy. It's a very subtle, free-flowing, feminine energy. And if you feel like you need this energy, you just may feel it coming in, because it's coming out real strong right now. You can feel it coming in through my head and just shooting out and streaming out to you. So, yeah, just enjoy that flow. This energy is there for yourself and anyone who may need a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a healing boost, or wants to use this energy for their process of growth, to help them work through things, or even just to lighten up their day in the smallest way. Very, very calm, gentle, subtle energy. And if you relax and you welcome this energy, then it's flowing to you right now. No matter where you may be in the world. I'm in Germany. I'll be in the United States next month, and you may be in the US, you may also be in Europe, you may be in China, Africa, Sudan, Georgia, any of these places, anywhere in the world. If you're tuning in and you would like to receive this support, it's all yours, and it's coming through. And in our program, we teach you how to open your energy channels and conduct as much energy as you may want, and you may conduct a different type of energy, and yours may be equally as beautiful. It may come from your higher self, or another source, another planet that you may be connected with. But we show you, we show everybody how to open up their energy channels to be a conductor of such types of beautiful divine flows that are accessible to everyone. And there are specific exercises that we make available to anyone who's interested. And it's important to have a complete process that addresses, and I need to come up with a better word for spiritual, because it's, it's practical, it's living, and what I consider, what we may consider spiritual is actually more real than what we're experiencing. And the word spiritual kind of makes it feel less real. So we need to come up with a better word instead of spiritual. But for lack of a better word right now, we owe it to ourselves to have a complete spiritual system, or at least as complete as we can. We can keep looking to make it more complete and for the processes that suit us the best. And I try to offer to anyone who's interested as complete a system that I can offer, where all the pieces tie together, and you get to have those synergies from all the time that you're investing in these different processes. And that's why we have meditation. We have energy building, cultivating your own energy lines. Seeing your message, Aaron, I appreciate your openness and staying more, sharing more. Is that a specific situation that you're mentioning? Is it something that happened recently? You can provide more context, and we can get further into this and try to figure something out and get to the bottom of it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm smiling too when you write that. Unify, right. So I also found out at some point on my journey that yeah, I was a divine being, or more specifically, it's almost like I'm relative to my higher self, what I experience is a very minute part of that. So it feels like I'm part of a larger divine being. And I also had similar experiences upon my path, but not so esoteric experiences, where it's like people need to be, you're like going through all of this stuff on the premise that you're not divine already, and who knows if you could ever reach that level. And I think that's all, it's almost like it's part of the game of being down here on Earth, that we have to go through all these steps. It's like it's just part of the game that we unfortunately have to go through, and stuff reveals itself over time as we work through this game. That is our lives, that is humanity, and how it plays out. Wow, that's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Priestess and archangel, yeah, that's lovely. So now that we begin to know about this, to know about our, those larger divine aspects of ourselves, now we can begin to tune into it and get more in touch. And that's exactly what I'm doing now, and what you're all helping me to do as we work together on this call, in this session, is get in touch with that other aspects of ourselves that have been hidden to us for a long time. Or sometimes we may have realized it when we were younger. I used to have what we may have characterized as imaginary friends, and eventually I let those imaginary friends go. But now it's time to make friends again with those imaginary friends. because they're not as imaginary as we might have thought. And I actually immensely look forward to becoming, more and more in touch with my higher self and really tuning into it and merging with it as much as I can, because I think I realized, I've really been missing it almost all this time. Yeah, I found out something has been going back for generations, a long time, over multiple lifetimes. Yeah, I've also had very similar experiences have kind of gone on, and other people have helped me look through the Akashic records, other people that are much more experienced than I am about going through the records, and and found out that at some point somebody, died very close to me, a very bad event happened, and I kind of cursed the gods and wanted to move away from all those magical realms, and something akin to a black band was placed around my head, and then also for many lifetimes, I've had all that separation. But the good news is that once we once we know about something, once we realize it, and once we begin to understand it more, then we can really do something about it. It becomes much quicker and easier to move forward and get past these. So these things, all these dark things, they can continue for this entire lifetime, and they can continue for lifetimes, as long as we don't have a clear understanding of it. Because if we don't have a clear understanding, what happens is it kind of continues in the background, and it's influencing our lives in a negative way, how we feel in a negative way. And because we can't quite put our finger in it, we're just dealing with the consequences. We're dealing with the consequences of everything that it's doing, and every way it's messing up our lives. But we don't actually address the root cause. And that's why information is so important. And that's also why information coupled with this process is especially important, because then we can actually begin to do something about it, begin to target it, to focus on it, and let it come out. And sometimes that's a very deliberate letting go of those stuck energies and other issues which are trying to hold us back, or push us to do things that we may think we want to do, and maybe they've tricked us into thinking we want to do or feeling we want to do. But if we're clear-headed and we're more open, then we realize we actually don't want to go in those directions. And I can clearly see you've been through a really rough time, a horrible time. And it does take time to work through those heavy issues, especially if a lot of them are there and they've been going on for so long. But the good news is that we can make very meaningful progress on them, at least one at a time, and we can see real change, even if the overall process is taking a while. We can at least see real change as we're moving along on the issues that we're tackling one at a time. Really interesting that maybe from Arizona, I may go to Sedona at some point in this trip, be near the vortex that's there. I'm going to start off in the upper San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Rosa, and I'm sure I'll make it to Mount Shasta. But there is a possibility of a Sedona trip, because that's somewhere I've been thinking about for a while now. Oh, lost in what sense? I'm just responding to that message. You may notice I'm making some interesting movement here. It's not a movement I've made before. And I am just moving to how I'm guided. I'm basically giving up the, the reins of this movement, and my higher self Yona is steering this R, which is my body in this movement. And I'm sure there's a reason for why moving this way. I feel it's kind of churning the core as I'm moving side to side. And there may be somebody on this call, either it's doing something for the group or it's doing something for a particular person on this call, and maybe they have some energies in the solar plexus area that really just need to be wiggled around. And as I'm moving this, I'm basically rotating and compressing around that Manipura solar plexus chakra. And it just could be, again, because I don't have the full specifics, and I haven't asked to tune into the full specifics, but it could very well be that somebody on this call needs a little solar plexus chakra loosening up at the same time as we're sending through the Andromen healing frequency, also continuing to go on. And it could be that is just what is needed for somebody at this time. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to slowly come to a close of this particular call. It was really good to meet you and have this conversation. The person whose name starts with an R. I joined the group called Tuning In specifically, two different people to really feel what's going on with all the folks that I can in the group. And I invite everyone to stay connected. We're going to have similar calls actually twice tomorrow. There's going to be one at in earlier time. It's going to be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, quite early. And then there's going to be another at this time. And I do these because we need a lot of work. There's a lot of things we have to work on. So you can find me at jonahbernstein.com. And if you message me your email address, I'll add you into the calendar invite, and then that time will be there. It'll pop up on your calendar. You can ping me your email on Facebook. One way to do it, or you can tune in if you see these live streams pop up. We're gonna have a lot of interesting events. We're gonna have a co-channeling event Wednesday, and we're looking to do collaborative events as well. We're gonna have a more of a podcast style live stream that will include meditation, as well as the perspectives of other people too, to help us dig into these issues, and we can share the energy at the same time that we're having some of these conversations. So I greatly look forward to spending more time with you all, getting to know each other and to sync our energies together in a productive way for for us, for our growth, and for everybody who's who's on this planet now, because we're all in it together, and every improvement that we make in our own lives, even within inside of us, our particular person, that ripples out in tremendous ways to everybody. So I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I greatly appreciate you being here. You made my night over here. It's been great spending time with you all, and we